I'm Noha Atef, an Egyptian journalist and blogger. At the moment, I'm doing a master's in social media, and I'm here attending Republic 11. I was trying to cover it more than documenting it, particularly the parts which are not exposed in the mainstream media. I mean, I was trying to translate the chants people are saying to tell people, the English-speaking people, how the situation is, how people are feeling, what's happening in the backstage, what the mainstream media do not have access to. Sometimes I was correcting some mistakes of mainstream media. That was basically what I'm trying to do, like to get people more to understand more what's happening. Generally, they did a bad job, but some of them a really fantastic job. But because I think, like, what happened is that some newsrooms sent their good journalists to Cairo, and they are really good journalists, but they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the society, so they mistake things. They see something and then they misexplain it. For example, in the beginning of the revolution, a lot of European and American journalists, they just saw the protests are becoming bigger and bigger on Fridays and seeing people praying on the street. So they explained it as a Muslim-led revolution, or Islamist revolution, or Muslim Brotherhood led revolution, which is not true at all. Like Egyptians tend to pray on the streets before the revolution, before everything. It's something culture, and if you are living in Cairo, you will see this scene almost every day. And the protests are more busy on Fridays because Friday is the weekend for both Muslim and Christians and everybody, the weekend in the country. So that's why people are getting out of their homes. So this kind of thing, not always they deliberately misexplained it, but because they are just out of context, they are not very engaged with the Egyptian society. It was normal that torture happened since the absence of law, and the law actually is biased to the police officer. Like, so far the Egyptian criminal law doesn't have a definition for the torture crime, and the state is under an emergency law, an emergency state. So it's accepted, like it's legal, totally legal, that a police officer arrests someone and keep him in jail for tens of years. This is going to be quite accepted. And like the police officer was, since he has an absolute power, he was like trying to show off his hand, like, I can do this, I can torture, I can do anything to the one who was not obedient to me. What I showed yesterday was Wikipedia, which is a photo album for police officers. The idea is to collect the pictures of police officers and make them available online. So, like if a police officer abuses you, then you got to identify him, maybe. And also people are invited actually not only to upload to this upload and contribute to this photo album, but also to just visit it and recognize. Maybe they know the name, or they recognize someone who abused them one day, something like this. Wikipedia is based on Flickr, but if you just Google Wikipedia, you will find them. Okay, Khalid Said is a young man from Alexandria, and last July he was beaten to death in the street in front of everybody. Then for no reason, like he was sitting in an internet cafe trying to upload a video. Some people said this video was showing like the corruption of the police, and then two secret policemen came to him and asked him for his ID, and like call him names, and he didn't accept it. But then they went violent with him and they beaten him in front of everybody and smashed his chin and everything. The pictures of his corpse was leaked by his brother to Facebook, which was quite shocking to people, especially that Khalid Said is like, he's young, he's our age, and he was not like he's not a political activist or something, and he was like beaten brutally to death in front of everybody, which is very sad thing to happen. So what happened is that people was unhappy with this, and then Wael Ghunaim created a Facebook page. We all are Khaled Saeed. And people was like, they were a fan of this page, and then the page started to mobilize them to do like silent protests and things. And this went very well actually. And then Khaled Saeed was a figure of how oppressive the regime and how torture is coming. And like, look, what if Khaled Saeed was a son of a minister, for example? Of course, the Minister of Interior will be punished, but now because he's a normal citizen, and because we have this emergency state, the police officer are not punished. Well, I would not say there is anything like in Egypt or anywhere called a social media revolution. Actually, if you told me a social media revolution, I'll think like how the social networks develop the media. It would not even come to my mind that a state is developed or changing, moving to democracy because of social networks. Simply because social networks are accessible to everybody, to all peoples. But then revolution happens only in certain countries. Social media, because they are media, they are effective, of course, in shaping the public opinion and mobilization, if you get to understand how they work. So I think in Tunisia, Iran, Egypt, and different other countries, people got to understand how social media works, and they deployed it in their struggle. Not that social media created the struggles, because like they are just tools. They have no brain, they have no emotion. So, and there are lots of people like you are of course not saying that all the millions of Egyptians are on Facebook or on Twitter. So when Facebook like Facebook tell them go demonstrate tomorrow, or they will take the street and demonstrate. No, it was the people. Thank you.